going on? Catching a huge move in the market today. I'm going to break down the technicals, show you our entries and why we ended up getting out of the stock. You guys are all having a good day. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Josh and I'm from the Good Brothers Trading Academy. And today I wanted to break down Tesla, okay, and Boeing. So Tesla, we mentioned that we like Tesla. I was bullish Tesla yesterday and that we missed the move. We switched charts, and by the time I came back, it had already. Now, what was weird is I actually set my alert somewhere right around here when it was still selling off. For whatever reason, the alert didn't go off. No harm, no foul. I end up switching back over to the charts, and I was looking at. I actually really wanted to chase it, but I didn't. I don't like to chase stocks, so I fought the FOMO and just let it continue. Now, Tesla ended up putting in like a $12 move in the process, but what was neat, we didn't chase it, and yesterday's video, first off, we talked about Boeing and liking Boeing for possibly a continuation, and we were just wanting to see the price action and waiting that there was some potential as long as the news continued to stick, or the headline talking about how we were getting a vaccination for COVID-19. Now, Boeing, I wanted to point this out. The reason why I brought back up Tesla is not because I'm really sad that I missed it, but look at the pattern Boeing put in, and Tesla. So here's Tesla, sells off, puts in a low, and then puts in a higher low. So kind of have this cup and handle style pattern. Here's the breakout point, and it takes off, right? Now we put in the low, put in a higher low on Boeing. Here's the breakout point, and it takes off, okay? So the market decided to love us today. It doesn't happen all the time for sure, but we missed the move. We got the exact same move today. What's ironic is it put in a $12 move and Boeing put in an $11.50 move. Now, our entry was clear down here. We mark out our charts with buy and sell zones, supply and demand in the market. And we use these zones to break down the chart to watch where patterns form on the charts. It makes it easier to understand direction if we break them down in little segments like that. At least it does for me, and I find that when I teach it that way, that it's easier for people to understand as well. So once we got this doji candle, we had our low, we went ahead and pushed up. We had this big reversal candle, and we sealed the deal above the 50% on this reversal candle with a tail candle, showing that there was a lot of buying pressure, showing us that there was buyers in the now demand zone, right? And so we got long at 182.40 roughly, and we held on to this thing all the way up. And what's crazy is we set our sell limit, and I usually set them a little early, but at 194. And we hit 194 by the penny, and then we turned around and we, let's see, 194 or 190, high is 193.95. Level 2 says something different. So we hit it or just missed it. It started selling off. What we ended up doing is we just stayed on this micro time frame, like the 1 minute chart, and I wanted to see where the failure happened. As it continued to kind of break down the chart, we end up exiting our trade at 191.50 roughly, or just below 191.40, 191.30, somewhere right around there, and it's kind of just sold off since. So and then look at the Tesla chart, which is kind of funny too. So it puts in these extra little, it puts in some tops, and then it kind of keeps selling off. Now, Boeing looks like it's holding up a little stronger. We're getting that bounce right around that 50%. If we were to use our Fibonacci retracement tool and we put in our high to low, we're getting a bounce at the 618. So we're bouncing off the 618 today. 50% we're fighting. So it looks like we're holding. So this would be another zone, right? We put this zone in way before, and it continues to hold. As long as we start getting above the 50%, what I would now be looking for on Boeing, if I was still long biased, would be at this 50% level. I want to see it hold. I want to see it come back, touch, build some kind of a pattern, and you can get long for a scalp up into 190s or so. That's the way I would like it. But I'm done with today. It was a good trade. Now, something that I wanted to point out is let's break down why we could hold for so long, right? Why we were long biased, why we didn't get Now we did take profit. We took profit in several different areas, but we were holding all the way up until 194. Okay, so let's first go. We broke down the chart using a 30-minute pattern, a 30-minute chart, to find where our zones were at. So we knew that there was a reversal, strong reversal here. We came up, we found more support down here. We found this pattern going sideways before making a move. Then we had sellers, a clear supply zone where sellers came in the market to push the stock back down. I figured since if it would hold in this general area right here, and if we could get some sort of a pattern, some sort of buying pressure, or you know, proving that the market was strong. If you look on the 3-hour time frame, it was a reversal candle. So what we were looking at this particular time when the market opened is this was a red bar right here. I knew if we found support in here and we got back above the 50%, that's why I marked this green line out. If we could get past the 50%, we could definitely see some higher prices coming. Now, let's go back to the 1-minute chart and just kind of re-look. Now, believe it or not, we sold our first partial at that 50% level. And actually, as it broke above the 50% level and started breaking above, that's when we sold our first. We didn't know if it was going to get rejected at this point right here or get rejected in this cluster at 184.50. So we took some off there, not a lot. It continued to push, and we just kind of followed our stop loss up. And I believe we took some more off at the high here of 188, and then we let it continue. Now let's look at the bigger time frames, and this is why we felt like it was going to continue, right? We want to pay attention to our daily charts and our weekly time frames. This is going to show us where we're at in the market and give us that bird's eye view, give us the direction. And direction is the hardest thing to really understand in the market. If we can understand direction, well, now if you understand it's going up, you just have to buy the dip, right? If you know it's going to go down, now you just sell the rips. And if it was that easy, instead of buying the tops for breakouts, etc., you know, it makes it a lot. It would be a lot easier, right? So that's what we do is we look. We have this indecision bar. Now, if you notice, and I have a lesson on the indecision bar on how important they are and how you can profit from them. The indecision bar, there's buyers and sellers trapped in the tops and bottoms of these indecision bars or these high wave candles. Now, the top is right around that 50%, right? Now, once we're breaking the high of the indecision bar, I know that a lot of people will be covering their positions. We get two forms of buying pressure at that point. Sellers are now buying to cover their position. We're maybe short the market at that particular time, and then in order for them to get out of their position, they have to buy to cover, right? Now, the reason why we had some, we figured that this zone right here, the 185, 186 area, had some sellers in it by looking down at the smaller time frames. Now, the bigger time frame, this is just a daily chart, but we had some daily resistance here at 189.75, and that's where we got that consolidation. That's where we're battling right now at the 61.8 level, or that 50%, which is now on the entire move of the candle, right? So let's look at and that's why we went ahead but the big reason, I guess, why we put it at 194 first and foremost was the weekly time frame. And I liked it because if we could get past these highs, which again, that's where we're kind of battling at, is this 189.50 level. If we could get past and hold this as support, which we had already just talked about, if we could hold this as support, we could get that continuation to 194. Now, that's what we were waiting for. And we can hold support here and creep up. And if we do, I will just continue to play Boeing long as the headline sticks and continues. Let's drop back down to a smaller time frame and just kind of see how it's reacting. So now if we're looking at it, remember the pattern. So we have a sell-off. We have a nice push up, a pullback. If we can get some more wicks, probably right around 189, anywhere and holding in this area, we would possibly see higher prices to come. And just by this pattern itself, we have this like pennant shape, right? Or like a bull flag, depending on what you call it. I try not to get into the names too much, but we get this flag pattern. We get this strong push up. We have a great catalyst showing that Boeing's going to be producing stuff. The catalyst this morning, I'll post it up or I'll edit it in. It said that they may possibly be getting a release on their jets again, right? So we already had like Europe okay it, and now we're waiting for the U.S. To go ahead and confirm that their jets are ready to go. Plus, we are now getting this COVID-19 vaccination where we could possibly be seeing, some really good positive things come out where some of the stocks that, as I mentioned yesterday, some of the stocks that have been lagging, your Boeing, your Carnival Cruises, your airlines, etc., AMC, some of these could actually be catching a nice move now. They're oversold completely. If the economy turns around, looks good, we get the vaccination, it sticks, the headline's good, we will see higher prices in some of these stocks. Now, we have been getting, we kept getting these higher, or these like a sector rotation again. So people that loved or didn't like HD, for whatever reason, HD sold off like crazy with the Qs yesterday. That tech, some of the tech stocks that I was covering. Now, then they decided to love it again, and then they decided to hate it. And then there was some news on Lowe's and how they were trying to acquire information about Home Depot's products. So there's a lot of weird stuff happening in the market. You could see a lot of the money shifting from what they loved yesterday to pulling out of the market, and they didn't like it as much. I figured Boeing was a safe bet. It's completely and utterly oversold, had a nice gap up. We had one of my favorite bars, the indecision bar. If you're going to play just one bar, it's the indecision bar. If you're going to play two bars, it's the reversal, where it's either 50% up or down the previous candle's move, right? Or the entire candle. So it retraces 90 to 100% down the candle. Oh, like this right here, this reversal right here, right? So if you're going to play two bars, this is the bar to play. If you're going to play a one bar, you would play that indecision bar, top and bottom. So you can see even right here, once we broke above, look where we're holding as support. Here's the indecision bar, or high wave candle. If you bet your booty, if you break below this indecision bar, there's going to be people stopping out of their trades that were bullish, okay? It's the same thing with some of these lows, but that indecision bar is very powerful in the market. So we'll continue to watch. We're on higher time frames now. If I see something just phenomenal and it looks terrific, we've already booked a lot of profit today. We caught that big, huge move. It turned out to be like $9.50 instead of $11.50, but we were looking at catching the $11.50, and we just barely missed it, right? It just didn't fill us. We should have had our target set a little earlier. But needless to say, I'm wanting to actually go live with you guys and be able to do this in real time. If you guys think it's a good idea, show me some love. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for me, and don't forget to click the notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video.